Alrighty, so what we're having a look at now is the area of a non-right angled triangle, and it's a third rule that involves trigonometry. Now, I'm just going to put the rule up straight away. So our area is equal to half BC sine A. You might see variations of this. You might see AB sine C or AC sine B. That's fine. All it's saying really is two sides and the included angle. I'll show you what that means in a second, but let's just look at this right angled triangle here, and I want to show you that it indeed does work. So this angle A is a right angle. Now if we apply this formula, that I should put in a nice little box for you to see, this formula to this triangle here, I'm going to look at it and say, okay, so my area is equal to half of B and C. We would know the numbers for B and C, so we'd say B times C times sine of 90. Now just put sine of 90 in your calculator, and what you'll find straight away is you get 1. So really it's half B times C. Now look at this triangle, it's half of the base C multiplied by the height. That's just a standard formula for a right angled triangle. Okay, for the area of a right angled triangle. So this is not a different rule, it's just a more extensive rule that allows us to apply this to right angled triangles or non-right angled triangles. Okay, so if we look down here at this non-right angled triangle and I applied this rule, I would say I would need this angle and these two sides to be able to use it in its current form, BC sine A or half BC sine A. If I had these sides instead, let's say I had I'm going to say I have side B at A, then I would need angle C. So that's what I mean, two sides and the included angle. So it needs to be side, side, and the angle in between that I know. It doesn't matter which pair of those we use, whatever combination we actually use in the triangle, if we knew everything, all three sides and all three angles, the area done three different ways would come up exactly the same in this triangle. But we need to have the two sides and the angle included in them, or angle in between them we call it. So let's look at an example. Okay, so looking at my triangle here, clearly I've got two sides and the included angle. If I had these two sides and angle A down here, I could not apply the sine rule. I could not just go half 7 times 9 and sine of angle A. That wouldn't work. I would need to know this side to be able to do that. So again, the most important thing for the sine rule, it's a pretty easy application. As long as you recognise that you've got the two sides and the angle that they form, that we call the included angle. So our area in this case is going to be area equals half times B times C. In fact, based on this triangle, they're not B and C, they would actually be sides A and C. Again, it doesn't matter what we actually call them. The most important thing is that we know that it's two sides and the included angle multiplied by sine of 42. So I'll put that straight into our calculator. We get 21.077. I'm going to call that 21.1 centimetres squared to 1 decimal place. And again, if I did put up a triangle there where I knew all three sets of information, we could go and prove that the area was the same three different ways. But we really don't need to. We're looking at finding it one way. And let me just put you at ease here. What we call A, B, and C, it really doesn't matter. So what I was saying before, our area, let me put it as area, not that A is not linked to that in any way. So our area is equal to half. In this triangle, we're using little a and little c, where this is little a because it's opposite big A, and this is little c because it's opposite big C, sine of B. So you're going to always put three letters in. 1, 2, 3. They will be three different letters. 2 will be sides, 1 will be an angle. I will say it again, I've said it a bunch of times, but it needs to be the two sides and the included angle we use for this. Simple little things as well. Make sure you put in your calculator correctly. It's always sine. We don't have a cosine variation for this. And rounding correctly only at the end. And we put our units in as always. If you're told to round it a certain way, nearest whole number, whatever, you do as you're told. If you're not told, then you go and make a decision and you list what you have done. I hope this helps. Our three rules, the sine rule, the cosine rule, and the sine rule for area of a non-right triangle, are really pretty straightforward. The main thing is identify your sides, choose your correct rule. Obviously, if you're finding area, there's only one rule, and we go from there. I hope this has helped.